Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we're going to create this hover effect today. It's an image with an icon in the middle. When you hover over the icon, it pops up into an info box text. As you can see, it does nothing when we move around the actual image, but when we hover on the icon, it pops up with a bit of info right there. This has been inspired by a series we've done about Divi image hover plugin, and they've still got that one on sale for $19, reduced from $50 there, and with it you get 250 of these hover effects. Like I say, this is a great plugin. I purchased it, I'm very pleased with it, I'll be using it a lot. But if you're prepared to do a bit of work, you can create some of these hover effects just with the inbuilt features of Divi. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is enable my Visual Builder. Okay, and once enabled, let's go down to where we want to work. And for this today, I've got a section, the blue tab, with a row inside with 2 columns in it. We'll be working on this second column here. And for this, I'm going to add a blurb module that will act as our pop-up info section. There it is, a simple blurb module right there. Okay, I'm going to leave the title as is because I've got no real content for it. I'm sure you would have from yours. Image and icon just below. I'm going to use an icon. And you can use any one you want. I just happen to use a plus one for mine to get people to click on it. But choose any one you want here from Elegance Themes ones. If you want to link the module, just down below here, you can link the title and the whole module separately. If you link the title, when they click on the title, it'll take them somewhere. If you link the module, anywhere that they click on this module, it'll take them to whatever link you put in there. If you're linking to your own site, leave it in the same window. If you're linking to an external site, I recommend you put it in a new tab. That way your site stays open. Moving on down, I'm going to put a little background color in. And I'm going to take the opacity down on that in a little while so we can see through it when we put the image in the background of the column. Okay, let's move on to our design tab. Image and icon. For this today, I want my icon to be white. I want it to be on the left hand side. I want it to be a bit bigger than that. I'm going to use icon font size here. Make my icon 60 pixels. Just type in the 60, it'll put in the pics for you, or whatever size it is you're looking for. Or you can slide the slider and fine tune it with the little arrows that are right there. Now the text, can't really see it, so let's make it light in color so we can see it. There we are, that's a bit better. Now I'm going to center align my text. Fantastic. Title text, well, you can do that separately, and body text separately if you want to. Let's make our title text bold, capital, and let's make it a little bit bigger. You can align it separately from your other text as well. I'm going to make mine 30 pixels. There we go, you're not going to miss that. Okay, spacing wise, let's go down to spacing. We'll do some sizing in a moment. We're going to go straight to spacing right now. I want to give it a bit of padding top and a bit on the left. So let's give it 12 on the top. Just gives it a little bit of separation, and 12 on the left. There we go. We've got similar left and top now. I'll give it a bit of padding on the right. I can give it a similar amount of space perhaps. Let's try 60. Maybe a little bit more. Let's try 70. Okay, well that's okay. Now I'm going to save this. I'm going to go into my column and put the image that we want to use in the background there. So I'm going to go up to my row, the green tab. I'm going to go into my second column, column 1, column 2. We're working on the second column. I'm going to go straight down to background. I'm going to use an image. You've got color, gradient, image or video. I'll grab the same images I used before. Right there. Okay, it's in there, but you can't see it because it's behind our module. To make this work today, I'm going to give our column a fixed height. And I'm also going to hide any overflow so that anything, when I push this module around, it doesn't spill out of our column. To do that, I'm going to go to Advanced, I'm going to go to Custom CSS, and I'll put this CSS below the video. It's a very simple line of code. Height 400 pixels. As you can see, that image is now spilling out of the bottom of our module. Now to manipulate this module, like I said, I've got to push it around a little bit, but I don't want to have it spilling out of the column. And to stop that, let's close up the custom CSS. We'll go down to visibility, and horizontal and vertical overflow, I'm going to set both of those to hidden. So if anything spills outside of that column, you won't see it. Great. Save that. Now let's move back to our little module here, and we'll start building it the way that we want it. So let's go into the little cog there. First thing I want to do is I want to make it just so we can see just the icon. So we've got to do a bit of adjusting here also. So if I go to my advanced and to the visibility again, we're going to do the same. Going to make sure the horizontal and overflows off on these in case anything spills outside. Then let's go to our design, and I'm going to go down to sizing this time. And we're going to make it the width that we want it. So I know that's 16, we've got about 12 each side. May have to adjust that. Let's make it say 60, 72, let's make it 80 pixels wide. So width right here, I'm just going to put in 80 pixels. There we are. And as you can see, it's just got our little icon just in the middle there. That's great. Adjust yours, fine tune it if you want to bring yours up and down. I want to make it in the middle of our row there, of our column, I should say. That's great. Now height wise, I want it to be the same height as well, so it appears like a square. So I'll give it 80 pixels on the bottom. Fantastic. Now I know this is 400 deep, and I know that this is 80 deep. So that leaves us 320, and half of 320 would be 160. So if I give it a padding of 160 on the top, it should place it in the middle there. So let's try that. Let's go to our design and close up sizing, go to spacing, and we'll go to margin top. I'm going to say margin top, what did I say, 160, wasn't it? There we go, and that is in the middle, but I'd only want it to be there when we're not hovering over it. So when we're not hovering over it, common to most Divi modules, if you roll over the dark legending here, you'll find an arrow. If there's a hover option, click on the arrow and it'll give you a desktop or non-hover state when your mouse is not on it, and a hover state when your mouse is on it. On the hover state, I don't want any margin on the top, so I'm going to put a 0 in there. So it's going to be back up there on the hover state, and it's going to be down there when we're not hovering on it. Great. So we've got our kind of hover state already there. I just want to change that background color so we can see a bit of the image through it. So I'm going to go back to content, to background. I'm going to click on the color. I'm going to pull the opacity or see-throughness, transparency down, till I can see a bit of that picture through there. There we go. And we may want to adjust this when we get the text up, but that'll do for the time being. So now let's go back to our design and we'll change the sizing on the hover. At the moment we've got it 80 pixels tall on hover and desktop. So let's go in there and again hover over the dark legending, and we'll hit the arrow icon. Now desktop, we want it just like it is, just 80 pixels. When we hover on it, I want it to be 100% of the width. So I'm going to say 100%. There we go, and it's stretched out all the way there. And I want to do the same thing for the height. So again, I'm going to click on the little arrow to get the hover state up. When we hover over it, I want it to be 100%, 100%. There we go, and as you can see, it's filled out the whole of the area. And I can read that text pretty well. I can see the image through it. But also, I think I want my text to be down here when we're hovering over it. So there's a bit of a gap at the top. So it's a little more central. Obviously, you may have more text, but adjust yours how you will. So now let's go back to our spacing. I'll just close up sizing, go to spacing. And here's our padding, and again I'm going to get the hover state and the regular state up. Regular state is perfect as it is. Hover state, I'm going to add, let's try 100 pixels at the top perhaps. Yeah, that's going to work for me. I could probably put a little bit more, but I'm quite happy with that. Let's do 120 perhaps. Again, this is entirely up to you with what you've got going on here. Great. Non-hover, yeah, back where it was, fantastic. Now I thought perhaps when we're hovering over it, we don't need to see that icon anymore. So let's close up spacing. We'll go up to the top to image and icon. Again, I'm going to hover over. Now our color when we're on desktop is white. When we hover, let's click on that color and make it completely see-through so we can't see it. There we go, just like that. And when we hover on it, we can see it. So if we've done everything right there, that should work perfectly now. The only other thing, the time it takes to change from this to our hover state by default is 300 milliseconds, which is pretty quick. And I'm pretty happy with that. But if you do want to change it, you can go to your advanced and down to transitions. There it is, duration, 300 mils. We can make it even quicker. Let's make it 200 milliseconds, or a fifth of a second. Don't want any delay, want it to happen straight away. And the speed curve I like to use is ease in and ease out. They're all slightly different. They'll work better in certain situations, so do check them out. But for most of these hover effects, I like the ease in and ease out. So I'm going to put it on there, and we should be good to go. Let's save our changes. Save the draft, or publish if you're ready, and exit the Visual Builder. And there we have it. As you can see, when we hover over the image, nothing happens. When we hover over the icon, it pops up into our little info box right there. And that's a pretty cool effect to have on your site. Of course, once you've got one, you can save it, copy it, and use it on others as well. So I hope you've enjoyed that today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.